Welcome to this faster fall flow. I often move at a slower flow pace. This will be a little bit quicker than you usually see, and we will flow from pose to pose and keep it rather quick and simple. So meet me on hands and knees and round the spine and arm. Round, exhale. Inhale, arm. As you do this, press evenly through the hands. Spread the fingers wide. Let's do round 3. 2. Last one, stay rounded here and make circles with the pelvis. And reverse directions. Roll up through the spine here, arm circle, interlace the fingers, roll through the wrists. Reach back, open across the heart, maybe even interlace the hands. Inhale. And exhale, slide forward onto the belly. Press onto the forearms into Sphinx. Drop the chin. And gaze up if it serves the neck. Continue here as you press actively through the legs. Tops of the toenails are heavy. One more time, inhale, maybe come onto hands. And exhale to lower. Widen those fingertips. Widen hands shoulder distance apart. And roll up through the spine. And right back. Inhale, roll up, extend. Exhale. Perhaps look to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, head returns to center. Look over the left shoulder. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, return. So glance or look right. Back to center. Look left. Back to center. Return home here. Press those hands into the earth so that you can lift into tabletop. Tuck the toes, hips up and back. Downward facing jog. Pedal the feet. And then right leg extends to the sky. Bend the knee. Open and stack the hips here to the right hand side. Press evenly through the hands. And then circle with the hip. Reverse directions. And then draw that knee close to the chest as you roll forward and step forward with that leg, that right leg. Lower back knee, lift up through the torso, low lunge. And then hands to the earth as you step forward. Press into the shins with the hands, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, roll up through the spine as the arms circle, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart as you fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank. Then lower the knees, rock your weight back, then slide the belly onto the earth back into that space. Look over one shoulder as that same leg slides in, and then opposite side. Just do one more each side. Nice. Back to center, lower through the torso, widen the hands, shoulder distance apart, tent the fingers, and extend through upper spine and lower. Perhaps you look left and lift up, lower right back. Look right, lift up, back to center, lower down. One more each side. Last time. Lower back down. Press those hands into the mat, close to those upper ribs. And tuck toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. The left leg goes high. Bend the knee, stack the hips left. And then circles with the hip. Reverse directions. Press through the hands, unlike me. There we go. And then draw that knee through as you roll forward into plank. Step the foot down, lower back knee, lift up through upper body, low lunge. And hands frame front foot as you step forward. Hands to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Continue the exhale as you roll up. Inhale as the arms pass the heart. And hands draw to heart center. Fold. Step back into plank. And then pike the hips nice and high. Roll forward into plank. And pike the hips. Let's do 2 more like this. The last one. Nice. Right leg goes high. Bend the knee, stack the hips again. Hips face the earth as you step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Rotate toward that leg and replant the hand. From here, blade back foot, and you might find a side angle. The forearm could be on the thigh as well. Arm over ear, arm to your side. Arm over your ear and to your side. One more time, arm over ear as you rotate to face the earth. Hand down and step back. Lower down into your chaturanga, into your up dog. And hips high, downward facing dog. Roll forward again. Lower all the way, all the way, all the way to the earth. Widen those hands, tend to the fingers. Roll up through the spine. And right back down. Look to the right, roll up through the spine. And down. Opposite way. So you extend. One more each side. Last time to the left. And find your belly and slide those hands closer to upper ribs to press yourself up. Tuck those toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal those feet. A little reprieve here. Shake the head, yes. Shake it, no. And then that left leg will go high. Stack the hips, open to the left for just a moment. Hips face the earth as you take that left leg and plant the foot on the outside of the left hand. Rotate toward that leg and replant the hand. Blade that right foot and find your version of the side angle. Arm over the ear and reach the fingertips toward the toes. Arm reaches overhead and toward the toes. Let's do 2 more like that. One more reach overhead as you pivot on the back toes and rotate to face the earth. Plant that right hand right back down and step back into a plank. Roll forward slightly with the body and bend the elbows to hover. Chaturanga, your version of the up dog and your version of the down dog. Roll forward again into the plank. Lower all the way onto the earth. Again, widen those hands. Last time here. Roll up through center. Roll right back down. This time, look to the left. Roll up. And down. Look to the right. And through center. One more each side. Final time. Nice. Hands in a strong position to press out of the earth here. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. Maybe you land in a plank. Lower the knees to hover and lift. Lower and lift. Let's do 3. Two. Last one. Hover the knees, press the hips high. Down dog, wave forward. Knees hover, press the hips back, wave forward. One more time. Nice. And then step that right hand to the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Rotate right. And then plant the hand. Let's see again if we can blade that back left foot. Find our side angle, arm over ear, and toward the toes. Again, a little faster. Let's do two. Last one, reach, pivot on the toes, hand plants, step back into plank, roll forward, bend the elbows to hover, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. This time right away, the left leg goes high. Bend the knee and step to the outside of the left foot. Blade back foot, right foot, and find your side angle. Arm reaches toward overhead and toward the toes. Overhead and toward the toes. Two more. Last one, reach toward the toes, overhead, pivot on the back foot, back ball of foot. Find your lizard and then your plank. Roll forward. Find your chaturanga, your version of up dog, and your version of down dog. Bend those knees again to crouch. Start to bend a little and straighten just a little. Okay. You could step one foot and then the other foot to the outside of the hands. Okay. Or both legs can step forward. Find your mala here and lift up to stand, star, and right back down to the squat. Again, star and squat. One more time, star and squat. Hands plant. You can hop back or right leg, then left leg steps back. Hike those hips high to the sky. Roll forward. Find your plank. Lower down chaturanga. Lift up through the heart. Broaden across the clavicles. Inhale. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. That little crouch again. Okay, so we're just preparing here. If you stepped and stepped, it'll be right foot this time and then left foot. Or crouch, hop forward. Find your mala, lift up, and return to squat. Again. One more time, lift. Find your mala. Hands plant down. If you did one foot, then the other, left foot, then right, or hop back. Okay, pike the hips. Roll forward one last time, lower part way. Lift up through the heart for your up dog of choice. And exhale, hips high, down dog. Widen those knees. Think hips to heels. Child's pose. Clap those hands together. Bring the hands to the nape of the neck. And breathe. Outstretch the arms. Circle them back. Maybe you even interlace fingers if it's available. Use the strength of your core to rise up. Exhale. And reach those arms back. And then fold once more. Using strength of core. Relax the hands a little. Interlace thumbs opposite way. Lift up through the torso. Arms reach back. And return to the fold. Let's do that again. Switch the grip. Use the core, lift up, then stretch arms back and lower. Interlace thumbs opposite way. Lift up, reach back, inhale, and exhale to fold. Send those arms out directly in front of you. Okay. And see If palms facing in toward the head, you can rise without using the arms here. Nice. And then circle the arms back. Stand on the shins if able. Could always be cross-legged here. And open up across the heart. Hands might come to the small of the back. Okay. Or I like to tuck my toes. May or may not tuck your toes. Lean back and clasp those heels. Camel. One more inhale. Exhale to lift up, slide forward onto belly. And reach back with those arms. So circle them back, reach them toward the toes, bend both knees, lift up through upper spine. Okay, you might take the bind, but again, without force. Okay, and then press shins into hands, hands into shins as you lift up a little higher into your bowl. Maybe even rock side to side or forward and back. And lower to the floor. Release those arms long, forehead perhaps to the mat. Little rock at the hips. And then pause. Hands slide closer to the body to press yourself back up and find frog. You may need to turn to the long edge of your mat as well to have something underneath the knees. Okay. Can roll the mat up so that it's underneath the inner leg. If you need more cushion, okay. And find your frog. Maybe there's a little rock here. Few breaths here. Another inhale. And exhale to come onto the hands if you weren't already there. And start to scooch one leg in a little, then the other. You can take your time, scooch, scooch, scooch. Okay. Roll out your mat. Let's take a little bit of stretch for the hips. So your right leg. And take it across. I'll get the glute a little bit here and some rotation. Sit up tall. And then with or without hands, rotate toward the top leg. Maybe the arms outstretched, back fingertips could be down, mostly just to lengthen spine, not to crank on the rotation. And rotate opposite way. And return to center. We're in a good place to try cow face pose. If you don't like cow face pose, you could have the leg, that right leg crossed in front and lean forward. You might be able to find with the angle some sensation still, some stretch in that glute. Okay. But for some of us, we need a little bit different position here. So cross those legs. Those knees are in alignment. And lean forward here. It's all about your hips, what gives you a nice sensation of stretch without it being too deep. Doesn't matter so much what the pose looks like. What does it feel like in the body? Does it feel integrated? Perhaps you sit up tall, take that left tricep back. Release the arms. And we'll switch sides. So uncross that right leg. The left leg will come over top. The foot plants. Find the sits bones. Tall spine, inhale, and exhale to rotate toward top. Maybe backhand helps you lengthen spine. Heavy, heavy pelvis. Rotate the opposite way. Find your breath. And rotate toward me. Again, top leg to come in front. Crisscross here, exploring left hip that way, or knees stacked. Shins out to sides. Lean forward. Perhaps you'd like to sit up tall, take that right arm back. Tricep stretch. Release the arms, press the palms away, bend at the second knuckle a few times. And roll wrists, uncross the legs, and lie on your spine. However you want to get there today. Perhaps a nice knee hug. Maybe you lengthen the legs to the sky, get a stretch the back line. Lift the booty off the earth a little as the feet or toes head toward nose. And then a final happy baby. Widen those thighs to the outsides of the ribs. Could clasp the shins or the feet. And allow the feet to land, the knees to knock in together. Feet can widen a little more. A little brief knee mountain here as you breathe into the pelvis. And then circle the shins if you want to lengthen the legs for Savasana. Also take any position of active rest for your Savasana. Observing your experience here and now. Sense yourself here on the mat. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Again. And again. So continue to feel the breath. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Add movements to the body. Notice its effect on the breath. Notice how it might shift. Perhaps you take a long body stretch. And shift arms and legs over to the left. This banana shape for just a moment. An opposite way. And then return to center. Knee hug. Rock across back of pelvis until you roll onto one side. And press yourself up with the top. And find a seated position of your choice as you lower the head side to side or all the way around. Careful of compression at the back of the neck. Reverse any circles or continue to sway the head side to side. And then drop the chin through center. Take your gaze up as the arms reach up and draw the hands to your heart. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for this practice. Satnam. If you enjoyed this class, check out the Mobility Flow playlist, and we'll see you soon.